Hi, this is Chico Resch. You are listening to the Let's Go Devils podcast on the Primetime Radio Network.
Happy Devils Monday. This is Game Day Live, coming to you live from American Whiskey.
Yeah.
For the last time of this season, unfortunately.
American Whiskey. Inside.
Where they got great fries.
Yeah.
They do have great fries, and they have a really good beer here. But we'll let Sam finish the intro before Vinnie starts telling us about some kind of beer he should have. So, Sammy, you can continue.
Streaming live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, X Live, and Twitch on the Let's Go Devils Network as the Devils take on the New York Islanders. Trying to play spoilers tonight. Game 82. So. When I was coming in here, guys, do you know who was driving right behind me?
Who?
Bill Spalding.
Nice. That's awesome.
He actually drives a little Honda.
Good for him.
Little Honda Accord.
Good for him.
Smart choice.
Yeah. It's a very fuel efficient.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Vinnie, how are you today? It's our last day together for a while.
I'm so sad, guys. You guys all live within close proximity. You guys are some of my best friends in the whole world, and like this is just so sad. I always said for my whole life. Basically, when I started becoming like a hardcore Devils fan, maybe like 2009, 2010, right in the heart of the Zach Parise era, obviously. The day the Devils were done, it was my least favorite day of the entire year, no matter what. It was always sucks. My, outside of like tragedy that happens in people's lives, outside of that kind of stuff, it's always the worst day of the year. I hate it. I could cry right now. I'm annoyed.
Well, don't die. Please don't die. We love you, and we don't want to see anything bad happen to you.
No, we absolutely don't.
It is definitely it is a sad day.
It is. But we're going to, you know what, though? We're not going to let it dampen our mood for today, especially for us. Unfortunately, Vinnie, unfortunately you can't be here, but we're going to have ourselves a damn good time today.
Yes, sir.
We're having some beverages. We had some food.
Yep.
Great French fries.
Yep. Great.
And
French fries.
we're going to go in there, and we're going to hopefully watch our team be a spoiler to the fish sticks on the other side of the ice.
One of you has to remind me next season when I'm at American Whiskey for my inevitable one trip to American Whiskey next year. I need to try these fries. I'm a huge French fry guy. I love fries. So if they're good, I need to try them.
Oh, you will try them. We'll make sure that there's French fries, because we ordered like a plethora of food when you were here. So we have to make sure that French fries are on the docket for next year. But you'll get them for sure.
And plus great salads here at American Whiskey as well.
And
Not
Mrs. Wu,
interested. Don't care.
Mrs. Wu, I can assure you, Sam only eats salads here at American Whiskey.
Yes.
Yep. That's funny.
I got to say, too, the honey mustard choice. That's another good choice because you dip those fries in the honey mustard. It's pretty key.
There you go.
Pretty key.
We're gonna have to do a food review here next year when you're here, Vinnie.
We should just do our own Chico Eats.
Right.
Maybe Chico will come over and do
We'll do
Chico
Vinnie.
Eats.
You know what? We'll do Vinnie Eats when he's out east. We'll do Vinnie Eats.
Yeah, we'll do it at like 3 o'clock. We'll do it at like 3 o'clock. We'll go live and do that, so it doesn't take over Game Day Live or anything like that. Just totally,
It'll just be
totally
Vinnie
just
Eats.
make that
It'll be like a
show.
YouTube short or something like that.
Yeah, we're doing that. That is
let's do
happening.
it.
All right.
Oh, man. Boys, I'm wearing all black today. It's a day of mourning. It's a day of mourning on a year that we had extremely high expectations.
Yep.
And here we are, game 82, and you know what? It is what it is. Like, the team is not making the playoffs. This is the last hurrah. Hopefully they go out and they do us right, and they put on a good performance, because man, it's just going into the preseason and then going undefeated in the preseason, and then watching Toffoli and Jack have incredible like chemistry.
Yep.
And just looking at that and being like, oh my God, this year's going to be different. This is going to be, we're taking that next step. We're going to get past that first round, second round. We're going to get into ECA. It is what it is. It just, things happen. What are you going to do? And it's a sad day, but at the same time, like Shorts Guy said, we're not going to go out on our back. We're going to go out cheering. We're going to go out yelling, and we're going to have a good time.
Yep, absolutely. And Vinnie, I know you'll be yelling at home on the couch.
Yes.
Yeah, no doubt about it. When I watch the Devils play, I root for them to win every single game no matter what. This year had, like you said, extremely high expectations. It had some moments where we were believing, right?
Yeah.
When they won the Stadium Series game and
man.
Beer Baron couldn't find a T-shirt to save his life.
No, I didn't want to.
The Devils,
That's
that's true.
That's always
They were
a
2
common
points.
theme. Beer Baron.
Yes.
Something with Beer Baron and ripping off that tarp.
Hey,
It's
if
a
we're
common theme.
winning, this shirt's coming right off.
Love that. And, they were 2 points out of a playoff spot after winning the Stadium Series game. And it really looked like that's when they can kind of get it together, and it just never fully came together. They were an incredibly average team this season.
Yeah.
They didn't lose more than 3 in a row. They didn't win more than 3 in a row. And you know what? Right now, I believe they're 38-6, which means they have an exactly 500 points percentage. They have 82 points, or 81 points. So it wouldn't shock me if tonight's game, I'm not spoiling my prediction later in the show, but if they end up just losing in overtime or a shootout, they will end the season as the most average team in the NHL with the perfect 82 points. And that's just kind of what it's been all season long. But you know what? This is a better than average podcast, so that's all that really matters.
Exactly. That's all that matters. And it's been fun being here at American Whiskey all season and here one last time. And the most we can hope for tonight is to play some spoiler.
Yeah.
Would love to see that. Would love to see these Devils come out. And, this is the last time, I mentioned it last night on the Big Show, this is the last time we're going to see this collective of players on the ice together forever. There's no way this team is going to look the same. We have to be ready.
Willing.
We have to be ready for this, for pieces that we love to leave. So that's one of the things to enjoy about tonight is just watching this team and some of these players we're never going to see again wearing a Devils jersey.
Yeah.
And there is one thing to kind of think about after the show. After this night is over, we'll let Scotty and Sam do their thing to close out the season, and then after that, we can start dreaming about the draft and then the cup next year. Let's go. Everybody's 0-0 outside of the playoff teams. The non-playoff teams are 0-0 starting tomorrow, and we start thinking about who's going to draft to help this team eventually win the cup and what are they going to do in the summer. We'll be right into it not long after tonight's over.
Sammy did predict 25.
2025.
He did. He
Yeah.
did.
2025
We used to say it
all the
every show to make ourselves feel better about ourselves.
Oh,
when the Devils were
no.
so bad.
It's okay. 2025, we got this thing figured out.
Yep.
Sammy's
Yep,
set on that year,
absolutely.
2025.
But I don't know which 2025, the 24-25 season or 25-26 season.
Why not both?
Oh, yeah, all the above.
At least make the playoffs. I mean, that's all. That's what you got to come back next year trying to do, because last year was so good. This year was so mid, but you can kind of, in hindsight, we all thought they were a cup team coming in, but in hindsight, this year was very predictable with how young this group is and how much turnover there was on the blue line with this season and the goaltending the way it played in the playoffs last year. It is kind of like, how did we not see this coming? And there have been instances where this exact thing happens to other teams, and then they come into the next year looking like the team that everybody thought they were going to be. Vancouver's a great example. Florida had happened to once. It happened to Tampa
Colorado.
one time.
Colorado,
Exactly. How many times did Colorado have, where they either got blown out in the first round or they didn't make the playoffs at all? Same thing with Tampa before they won their cups.
And
that stuff happens.
Didn't Vegas miss the playoffs the year before they won the cup too? So
They did.
there's a precedent for that. So you know what? For me, as a lifelong coach and teacher, or whatever, losing is your best teacher, and not making the playoffs should be the best teacher for this team. It should, if they really give a crap. But we'll find out.
It's sad too. Like there was things that, like you said, Vinnie, that were kind of predictable about the season. And unfortunately, the last time I talked to you, we were standing here at a game day live, and I said, Jack doesn't look right. Something's wrong. Jack doesn't look right. He scored a goal in that game, but then immediately, the next day, was announced that he needed surgery. So, there were certain things that you saw with this team that were
not right.
Not right. And we said this 1.5 million times, and I know somebody on Reddit's going to be like, if you say Brady Kachuk one more time,
like they were last night,
freak out, yeah. But
the way it exploded after he said it for the first time, freaking some big name journalists were talking about Brady Kachuk to the Devils after Beer Baron brought it up that day. I'm not even kidding. I was like, who does Beer Baron know that he doesn't tell me about?
I don't reveal my sources, but I did.
He knows me. He knows me. He knows me.
I did announce that Jack was going to get surgery before it was announced live. I'm just going to say I might have an inside source, or may not. You never know. But all seriousness, the one thing that this team, like losing Dougie in the beginning of the year, I think that was a death nail. I think that was one of the things that they could not overcome because you lost Severson, and a lot of people will be like, "Oh, we didn't need Severson." Severson was a veteran presence on this line. You lost Graves. Oh, we don't need Graves. Graves blocked a lot of shots. You lose Dougie too, and the people will be like, "Oh, his defensive game sucks." Okay, yeah, his
presence is irreplaceable.
His presence is the minutes that he logs are going to take away from some of the younger guys like Luke Hughes, Nemec. Like Nemec and Luke Hughes are logging like 21, 22 minutes a game some games. And listen, in the beginning of the year, that's great. When they still got legs, when they still got the fresh feeling. But you could see especially Luke, the year started to wind, and he started to feel that grind on it. Yep. And if you listen to, he had an interview about halfway through the season. And he goes, "Man, this is the most I've ever played because I'm used to playing 57."
It's double any college season, as you well know, Vinny. This is double any college season, even if you go all the way to the finals.
Yeah.
And I said it in the summer when they didn't do many moves on defense. It's like young defensemen are hard to hide, and sure as hell.
Oh boy.
And they are very hard to hide, and their mistakes are evident.
And we didn't have the goaltending to back it up.
Well,
and that was the problem too, because you had Vitek, who it felt like if he would have stellar periods.
Yep.
But then he would let in one weird goal, and then the wheels would immediately come off.
And that begs the question: if Jake Allen was available all this time, I really hate to play what if, but really, what if we had pulled the trigger for Jake Allen in late February?
Yeah, but so to that point, Jake Allen is a goaltender that is he gonna yes, he's had some really great moments with the Devils in the short time that he's been here, but at the same time, if he had to endure what Vitek was enduring the entire time.
Would he last out?
Would he
last out, yeah. And
we would have been in a situation where the Devils were barely making the playoffs or scratching their way in too. So,
but all you got to do is make the tournament. But let's say Jake Allen comes in sooner. He's playing like he is. And then do you make that move at the trade deadline for a defenseman to solidify the defensive core?
That's a good point.
So it's
a damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of thing. Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely. And, you think about it in the other direction, right? All these bad things that happened. Jack Hughes didn't look like himself. He was still putting up, instead of being 1.5 point per game, he was just a 1 point per game player when he was hurt. Oh, Heischer's game really improved in the second half. Because he was a little slow offensively out of the gate. Defensively great all year, but a little slow offensively out of the gate. Really started. He's probably the team's leading scorer. I don't know for sure, but I'm assuming he's the team's leading scorer since January 1st. Luke Hughes and Nemec are both teenagers. Yes. Hamilton's been out since November. All these bad things, and they were still right there all season long. So it makes you wonder if this is the worst version of this team, and they hung around all season long, weren't easy to play against, are a big reason the Flyers are probably going to miss the playoffs, even though they won this last game. The Stadium Series, they had another win earlier in the season.
That was a championship.
They've played some good teams and beat them this year, and they lost to all the bad teams. Okay, so let's change it to next year. All of a sudden, some of these bad luck things flip in the other direction. The Devils are a 105, 110-point team, if that's the case. Yeah. So I do have a lot of optimism coming into next year. Nemec and Hughes will know what to expect. It'll be a full year for them. I'm sure they'll make a signing or two on defense. Hamilton will be healthy. Jack will be healthy. Timo Meier, second half of this season.
My gosh.
Oh, different person.
Probably the best goal scorer besides
Austin
Auston Matthews in the second half.
Yeah.
Exactly. And he's been a stud. You need that Timo Meier. That's the guy you're paying 8 sheets to a season. So if all these things can kind of reveal themselves back in the other direction next year, we are talking about one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference.
Look how close and balanced the scoring is. It's like 27, 27, 27, and then 20. But Tyler Toffoli's not on that list.
Yeah.
Because he was traded. So,
and he could potentially come back this summer. You never know.
For what we're thinking is this is not a good season, but there was balanced scoring. I remember during preseason and the season preview show, we were talking about potentially 5 30-goal scorers.
Yeah.
Potentially 6. maybe 3 of them could be 40 on the same year and same team.
That would be wild.
You know, so again, and then I've seen the meme. Devils 38 wins. You know, in I believe it's regular. What is it? Regulation wins.
Yeah.
And Islanders 37, but one is in third place of the Metro and one's out.
Yep.
Well, and that
That's those loser points that we didn't get. We've talked about a lot, Vinny. It's those loser points that the ties that everyone hates.
It drives me
what it comes
absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. That whole situation of like the amount of points that the Islanders won in, where they have like 15 overtime losses or something like that, or even more.
16.
So like, to me, like the NHL needs to look at this and they need to like reevaluate how they're going to do the point system. And it's not a big deal.
It's actually a simple fix.
It is a simple fix.
3 points
for
a
a
regulation, 2 points for an overtime win, and 1 point for an overtime loss. And that would balance it out.
Yeah.
Then you wouldn't have a team because, and this is the thing that people forget. Like you're like, oh yeah, like they have all these overtime losses, they still got a point. But if you look at their record, win-loss, not win-loss, overtime-loss.
Yeah.
Like just win-loss. So if they lose in overtime, that still counts as a loss. That's a team that's under 500. So a team that's under 500 is still able to make it into the playoffs, which is a flawed system. And this is not us like crybabying like, ooh, because the Devils had plenty of opportunity to get into the playoffs this year. Down the stretch, they had plenty of opportunity where they lost 4 games in a row where they held the lead. So I'm not crying a river for them because they earned where they're at right now. They earned 82. They earned 82.
81. Let's hope we get 83 tonight.
Yeah, well, they earned 83, hopefully, yeah. But they earned every point they got this year, whether it be bad goaltending, bad defense, bad coaching decisions, like whatever it may be. Tom Fitzgerald needs to take a deep, long look in the mirror this offseason and address the things that need to be addressed. Going out, and I know our good friend Ted, who's in the background right there, you see him.
There's Ted right there.
Ted is a huge fan, or a huge, he's like, bring back McDermott. Listen, man.
Here comes the disagreement. There's going to be a fight.
Big disagreement. Sorry, Ted.
He dies.
McDermott's great and all, but I don't think that's the way we need to go. We don't need to try to chase Rempe. We don't need to go after. Like,
I can't wait till he sinks the Rangers playoff hopes.
Oh,
I can't wait. I can't wait.
He's going to do something dumb in the playoffs and get just annihilated.
No, but he's going to be in the lineup anyway.
You think Tom Wilson
Daddy Dolan wants him.
will put an end to all this? Rempe, if they play the Capitals in the first round.
Oh, I can't wait.
Listen,
That's what it would be if the season ended today.
If I were the Rangers, the team that I do not want to face in the playoffs would be the Capitals, and the reason why is because take care, have a good game. But like one thing that you don't want to see is a veteran team that's figuring it out towards the end of the year.
Yep.
And to have somebody that like owns your team. I want to see Tom Wilson go out there and absolutely ragdoll Panarin again and watch that team melt down. That'd be amazing.
No, the Islanders played. No, they wouldn't play the Rangers. They're already kind of high at this point.
That possibility was there, but not anymore. So
I'd like to see Patrick Waugh and Laviolette go at it.
Patrick Waugh.
I hate that I have to hate Patrick Waugh right now.
Yeah.
I really hate that I have to hate Patrick Waugh. I really do. Because I love Patrick Waugh.
That is tough.
Patrick Waugh was the stereotypical crazy goalie.
Crazy.
Like he was that
Talk to the pipes.
That goalie that you're like, he looked at you, you had that weird look, you're like, yeah, that guy's insane enough to be goalie.
You can meet him on the street and be like, that guy plays goal.
Yeah, and one of the greatest of all time. You know, and it's just he's one of those guys that's like, yep, this is why we have the stigma that we do as goaltenders, because of people like Patrick Waugh. Like, yeah, that guy's insane, but we're all a little bit insane for what we
to get just people shooting pucks at you at all the time.
I was just going to say, Patrick Waugh might have invented the stereotype that goalies are weird.
Him and Eddie Balfour. Eddie Balfour was a weirdo.
Eddie Eagle.
Eddie Eagle. Yeah. One of my favorites.
Eddie
growing
Eagle
up
was a weirdo too. Yeah.
I caught a clip today on Instagram of Eddie Balfour just hacking the crap out of somebody.
Yeah.
And in my game last week, we were on the penalty kill, and one of the guys that was screening me is someone that I knew, like one of the opposing forwards, and I kind of tapped him, during the play, and I was like, you know what, Pat? If I hack you, nothing personal. You're just in my way.
Just in your way.
And he got it. He understood.
Yeah.
But that's just what we have to do.
All cut from the same cloth. Ron Hextall, like all those goaltenders cut from the same cloth. That crazy, just out of your mind. Bennington in St. Louis is cut from that cloth. Like,
yes, he is.
Yeah. But and listen, over the offseason, that's a position that the Devils need to address.
Yep.
And you have Klokanen, who his small tenure for the Devils here has put up some pretty darn good numbers. And that's the thing too, is there's a lot of people out there that are saying, should we just roll back Allen and Klokanen and be good with it, instead of trying to go and get a Saros or trying to get a Markstrom or trying to get somebody with a big name, because you're going to have to pay extra. But my counter to that is like, okay, if you don't do that, if you don't go after Saros, if you don't go after one of the big boys, then you need to shore up this defense. You need to make sure that the defense is rock solid in front of these goaltenders.
Yes.
Because these guys will have great games, but man, can they have clunkers too.
And the other thing too, like some of these saves that we're seeing Jake Allen make, he shouldn't have to make.
No.
He should not have to be in a position to make. Vinny, I know that as a fan of college hockey, the save that Denver goalie made on
Davis,
the BC power play, like holy crap! Like, but you shouldn't have to make those. The point is, you shouldn't have to make those saves.
No,
you shouldn't have to make those desperation saves that we've seen Jake Allen make a ton of. But those are also the saves that, like, if we had him late February, and a couple of those saves,
we would have been snake bitten.
And then the Girl Scouts would have been after Sam much sooner. But I don't know. It's all coulda, woulda, shoulda at this point. But here we are, out of the playoffs, last game of the season.
We're gonna have fun.
Hey, Vinny, Beer Baron and I have these cups in our hands with some red
liquid.
Some red liquid in it.
I don't know what it is.
You gotta hold it up.
Hold on. Yeah. It's red liquid.
Here, cheers, bud.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers to that.
Vinny, do you have any idea what this is?
Did you pour cough syrup into a Miller latte?
No,
that's not a Flaming Mo.
No, it's not a Flaming Mo.
It's not a Flaming Mo.
No. It's a red beverage. Actually, it's a red beer, Vinny. Do you have any idea of what?
Red beer.
There's one of those cans up there that's in the lower corner there.
Oh, it's not shaking, so I didn't recognize it.
Yeah, it's not shaking. Well,
I'm watching it behind
what
the
is a
scenes.
red beer that everybody could drink?
Here,
the one that sponsors this podcast. Anchor Brew! Join our crew today and drink Anchor Brew, where we make winning memories together, one crew at a time. Anchor Brew. You guys are going to be singing that in your sleep over the summer when the Devils win the draft lottery.
Was that a dirt bike? Was that a dirt bike that just went by?
Yeah, it was.
I think it was.
Yeah, it was.
Dirt bike.
A little Excite Bike. A little Excite Bike.
Yeah. Well, Excite Bike. What a great
We're
game.
going to have to record me doing it. We're going to have to record me doing it, so next year we can just play a track so I don't have to rattle my voice every single night.
And just play it over top of like a clip of Excite Bike. Just like with the Anchor Brew in the background.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Yep. And then we'll have we'll have a Rangers fan on as a guest when they play the Rangers, but just keep playing that over and
What's
over.
That Billy Dean on? What's that Billy Dean? What's
Billy
that Billy Dean on?
God bless him.
Perfect.
We'll just rip into Billy Dean.
I'll torture that poor soul.
Absolutely
when we
perfect.
go to Nashville next year. Which, hey, by the way, Vinny, we're starting to throw this around. This is brand new, and we've had the idea of going out to Nashville. Would that be something that you would be interested in?
I love Nashville. I've been there twice. It is my favorite city. I might like it. There are times I might like it more than Chicago.
See,
I like New York. I like Newark. Like I'm just used to Chicago. Like it's like there's nothing special. Like I could go whenever I want. Outside of, I think Nashville's probably my favorite so far. It is just awesome.
I am looking forward to going back to Nashville. So my hope is that our game against Nashville is on a Saturday, and it'll just be. And
now we're gonna wait until June.
Yeah, it's one of those things though. There's so much music in Nashville, and it's not just that crap country.
I would make it a long weekend too.
It would have to be a long weekend.
Not just like we're not just going there for a game. We're gonna go there for a game, dude. Even if it's
right in the center of town. Like I walked by it when I was out.
Yeah.
When I was out there, I walked right by their stadium, and I already have the the really good local barbecue spot for us to go to.
Oh,
It's just,
I think it's it, Sam.
it's going to be, as long as it's on a weekend, oh yeah.
Listen, maybe we should start planning it now that we could get as many and Crew Brew out there. And we start shipping them out there. And then, Vinny, as soon as we get out there, as soon as we open up the podcast, you do the Hey Crew Brew.
So, Vinny,
I will
Vinny,
light Nashville on fire.
Vinny, would you fly or drive to Nashville from Chicago?
I think it would depend on a lot of things. I would probably drive.
So,
I think if I drove, I think we'd be able to be a little more free.
And
Like if you wanted to go, if you wanted
drove,
to veer
we can
away
get
from
in-
Broadway a little bit.
we can get some more Ian Crew Brew out there if you drove.
That
We
too.
can
true.
find,
That
we
too.
can make this
true.
happen.
It's like a moonshine
too.
run.
Or
Yo.
yes. Put it in the trunk
That
and just
too.
hit,
Well, I know.
turn out the lights and drive at midnight.
I'm trying to think if I know any Tennessee people.
Oh, my God.
Roger Allen Wade.
Yes.
Roger Allen Wade.
Yeah.
I have
Sirius
Bob
XM.
Ryan's phone number now. Does that count?
Yeah, sure, that counts.
Yeah.
He lives in Nashville. That's why I said it.
So we need to figure out if we can make this happen, this trip. And I know we're going a little out of bounds here, and not talking about tonight's game. But if we can make
We
this
never
trip
do.
happen,
I feel
I know.
like we haven't in like
It's because we
weeks.
have nothing to live for right now. Because this is it. I will talk about the game, sure enough. All right, I see a guy who's like a man baby outside wearing an Islanders jersey. The dude had never had to shave in his life. Anyways, we have this opportunity that if we do this right, guys, if we plan this trip correctly, once we find out the schedule, and we get enough people going, we go as soon as tickets go on sale for Nashville. Bam, we snatch
in.
up a section. We do it the right way.
Well, we'll have a we'll have a meeting when the schedule comes out. We'll have a meeting
Immediately.
Like we have to have a meeting for our playoff prediction pools to see if anyone can unseat
yeah.
you and I, the
Sam.
two idiots,
Just want to
the two
say,
idiots.
The two idiots that don't know.
Yeah,
just for the audience, go to joinourcrew.com. Once we figure out the plan,
Oh, there it is.
oh, there
Then-
it is.
There it is.
joinourcrew.com worked wonders at the Stadium Series.
You know
Oh,
what?
what a great time. That
I'm
was
gonna
highlight of the
scan that
year.
on the screen right now. Joinourcrew.com.
Yeah.
And
Boom.
wow.
Got it.
Wow.
Bringing it up.
Just like that.
Sign it up.
Signing up
Technology.
right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, the highlights of the year, we could also, the Stadium Series, hanging out with Vinnie in person, that was so much fun. We had that whole event, that whole day was incredible. My toes are still frostbitten, but that's fine. Going to Arizona was amazing. Vegas was amazing. Like, we had a lot of good times, but next year, I feel like is the year we amp it up and we bring all of our fans into the inner circle and we start really pushing it out there where we do some fun things.
Yeah.
Ted's gonna have to go wherever Ted
Yeah,
went.
Ted-
Ted's gonna have to go.
Max.
Ted's around here somewhere. 'cause
Max.
Max is already saving up.
Nice. We'll have to get Jake and Justin to come back over.
Yes.
Get them to come to Nashville if they can. It'll be a good time.
Oh my God.
Oh man, yeah, we're
I hope it's a back-to-back too, like because the Devils do that a lot. So I hope it's back-to-back with something that's like relatively close, and we could do that a little trip again. That was so much
Could you
fun.
imagine-
It's usually Florida and
Chicago.
Tampa.
Could you imagine
Florida and
back?
Tampa
Yeah.
would be fun.
Could you imagine back-to-back
Chicago.
Nashville?
Chicago, Nashville would be
Ah,
cool. Hey, guess what, buddy?
hey.
You better open up that sleeper you got in your living room because we're all going to be crashing on it.
Love that.
We can do-
What
we
do you
can
think
do-
I'm saying? No.
we can do GDL from that hockey bar,
Yeah.
which I'm coming out there so we can do GDL from that
Yes.
hockey bar. I
Yes.
cannot wait for that.
If you come for the Mets, we'll scope it out and
All right.
figure it out while it's warm out.
End of
That'll be
June.
part of the itinerary.
We're gonna have to do it.
All right.
Should we
Love that.
start some predictions? Because there is a game tonight. What do you think, Vin? Start predictions?
There is a game tonight. Let's go to do some predictions. I saw that Patrick Waugh announced that Noah Dobson is not in the lineup for the New York Islanders, which is always tough to lose.
Oh.
Your
Who is
number
not?
one defenseman.
Noah Dobson.
Oh,
Noah
whatever.
Dobson. One of the
Noah,
he
don't
will be
give
a
up.
top 10. Noah, don't give up. He will be a top 10 Norris Trophy vote getter. So that's obviously big to come out of their lineup in terms of a playoff race. But I want everybody right now to start throwing your predictions in the chat. I see them starting to come in. Beer Baron, why don't we start with you first today?
God
on your
dang it, I hate doing these things. You know,
predictions.
like every time I do a prediction, it comes out the opposite. So, and I'm not going to do what I want to do, which is call the opposite. 3-2 Devils win. Solid win.
3-2.
Solid win. 3-2.
All right.
3-2.
All right.
2-2 until late in the third, and bam.
Boom, I'll take it. I'm going to go, so, last home game, last game in the season. We have players looking for contracts, players that are hopefully looking to either come back or to get a contract somewhere else. Hopefully the Islanders are a little bit complacent, thinking, oh, we got this. Even though they've got Patrick Waugh, Mr. Crazy. Devils 4-1.
Ooh. And just like smack him right in the face.
I would love it. I would love every moment of it.
We got a lot of predictions here. Selected Boy says 4-3. Steve Engel says 5-3 Isles. Joseph Lanham says 5-0 Devils. Mike Rossi says 3-1 Devils. Also wants us to go to South Jersey, also known as Raleigh, North Carolina.
South Jersey? Hey, we can do that next year. I have no issues traveling next year, like a lot.
Michael Descala, 7-2 Devils. All right.
That's a Sam Wu prediction right there.
Boy.
A live Sam Wu prediction. We haven't had one of these in a while, Vin.
Yeah. Last game of the season. 80 deuce. You got to do it.
18-0 Devils.
Love it.
That's crazy.
Love it.
If any of your predictions ever come true, I hope
they do.
I hope there's a crazy fan out there that's like, all right, Sam, I'm going to put it on sportsbets.com or whatever it is, $5. Put that on there, and it's like 1,000-to-1 odds or something like that.
What is the biggest prediction you can do for tonight's game? Let me look that up while Vinny, give us your prediction. What do you think?
I believe the Devils are going to win this game 10-2.
There you go.
Wow.
Smoke them.
Vinny going with a Sam Wu prediction. I'm looking at what the biggest score differential you can get on FanDuel is right now, just because that's the only app I'm opening it up.
Brooke Amanda says 4-1 Devils.
Look at that.
Also vote you take the show to Seattle. I have family in Seattle. Beer Baron has family in Seattle.
Yes.
Yep.
We'll do Seattle.
Yeah, we'll do Seattle.
Seattle will be fun.
We'll go to Seattle, Brooke.
Seattle will be fun. Then we'll do a brewery tour of the breweries that I know out there. It'd be so much fun.
That would be terrible.
Oh, my God. It'd be
Vinny,
amazing.
would you go to Seattle?
Absolutely not. Of course I would.
All right. I've been looking for an excuse to go back. I haven't been to Seattle since 2006, and I'm looking for an excuse to go back. And that would
and
be...
we might have a free place to stay. My sister said she'd hold us up there. So, by the way...
She would regret that very quickly, by the way.
She would
She would
love
regret
it.
that very quickly.
I'd be remiss to say this, that being the only Yankee fan here...
Oh,
and I know you
here
guys...
comes.
No. Listen, I know you guys
Here
don't...
comes.
I know you guys don't care about it too much, but John Sterling retiring today...
Okay.
I got to say, it's a bittersweet thing because, 86-year-old John Sterling was still trying to give it a go, and it just wasn't the same. And then I got to say, it's just another one of these people that when you're watching your childhood just start to retire, start to go away. You watch your favorite players retire. You watch it, like, this is just one of those moments in life where I'm like, man, that's it. That's the end of John Sterling. I watched, Marty hang him up and Eliash hang him up. You watch all your favorite players, and it just like, you're like, dang, I really hit that point in life where that's what's happening. And now that's it. So good luck to John Sterling to whatever he does after this. But,
according to the only gambling app that I can log into, because the other one wants me to change my password, New Jersey Devils by 6 or more goals is a plus 4,000.
Ooh, dude, do it. Just do
plus
it. Put
$4,000
on it. Put $10 on it. I'll split it with you. I'll give you $5.
Remember, I created wealth when I told people to buy Doge during the pandemic on the Let's Go Devils podcast.
That's true.
True
and
story.
I'm still holding the Doge.
Yeah, and I was getting private messages and emails for that wonderful financial advice.
Saying, thank you, Sam. You did it. My family can now afford a house.
Yeah.
And then the Doge tanked, and they're like, thank you, Sam. They took my house.
Yep. Thank you, Sam. You've ruined our lives.
Vinny, did you give your prediction?
Yeah, I said 10-1.
Yep.
Oh, 10.
Yep.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's good.
Ah, pretty good.
All right.
All right.
Sam's like,
So-
I taught him well.
Yeah. Well, I'm assuming that we might. So, Vinny, this is it. This is it, man. I get to cross one more game off. This was just a random, I want to do Game Day Live, and here we are a year and a half later. And we're ending out this season. And looking forward to next season. Maybe, Short Sky will be live from Prague.
Ooh.
You never know.
Never
We've already proven
Yeah.
that we can do game day live from Europe.
Yeah.
Because I did it from England two nights in a row.
Yep.
Crazy.
Yep.
That's true.
Or Alaska.
Yeah,
Or
we're
Alaska.
on a cruise ship.
To test the Hawaii test. I was there for the Hawaii test.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely wild.
we have proven that the Let's Go Devils podcast is able to
Even during an earthquake.
yeah,
You
During
know.
earthquakes,
Yeah, we can,
The bunker
Yep.
survived.
we can do this from anywhere in the world.
Yeah. And we will. Damn it. We're coming to your living room.
Oh yeah. We're doing it.
That's what we're doing.
Absolutely love it. Sam, thank you for asking me to come on this show 3 years ago. Next year will be season 4, baby.
Yeah.
buddy.
Cannot wait.
Yeah, buddy.
Alrighty. Well, I want to thank all those tuning in. We got one more to go. Devils After Dark. After the game, Scotty of SiriusXM, Liquid Metal, and I will recap the game that was. Thank you to everybody. And next season, we will be approaching 1 million downloads
Can't wait.
as well.
Can't wait.
So we're planning the big 1
Confetti.
million party.
Lots
do
of
it.
confetti.
Thank you to American Whiskey, Frank the Tank,
Yeah, buddy.
Kevin, Casey. I just blame Jimmy. Till next time, let's go Devils.